Are we on? I think we might be on. Bloody hell. It's in my own little world then. And I can hear myself. That's always frightening. Where am I hearing myself from? That window. Go away. Hope everyone's doing well. Welcome into Kanbei on Twitch and to KYN and Proxima over on YouTube. I hope everyone's had a fantastic Tuesday. I think it's Tuesday today. The days are blending into one. Once again, my camera's all on the wonk. You can hardly see my face. Need to get that sorted, but monitors have changed and everything's all a little bit different. So, I have been working on this thing after stream last night. By the way, the end of the stream, everything's fine. Nothing to cause for concern. I know it was a very abrupt end to the stream yesterday. Let me open this window now as well. Twitch, surprisingly, is very liberal with what it allows as copyrighted content, but my countdown is just a HTML5 thing with epidemic sound for the electrician never got back to me today, Kanbei. I'll tell you all about that in a moment, but yeah, the electrician just never bothered to call because we go through the landlord here. But where was I? Twitch, yes. I pay for Epidemic Sound so that I can use whatever music I like from their library, and that's fine on Twitch, but I use it for my main channel on YouTube. So I have a separate audio feed of just YouTube audio library music going out for the YouTube in-betweeny screens and when we have background music playing in a game. And for some reason, the visuals were matched from a Dutch comedian from the 90s, when this looks absolutely nothing like it. Anyway, back to the game. We have a few changes. I've decided to just rebuild the entire thing. Yes, you can swear like a docker who's stepped on a bastard plug in Twitch. They are very much more liberal with the words that can fall from your mouth. But I have rebuilt quite a fair bit, actually, overnight. I've got rid of the original builder code. I've got rid of the original miner code. I had a look through the ASM again, and they're getting there. The only thing is I need to figure out how this miner animation works. It's still on the wonk. And something else I've done is I've created a proper level pack for the Sunsoft levels. So now we start at Just Dig, as we always do. Let's make sure that the game isn't muted. Just like that. Get ourselves off fast forward, and we'll get to playing. So this is on the rebuilt Master System engine, and we're going to play through all of the levels. Not all tonight. I don't think I'll have time, even with fast forward. But the difference is we've got the higher number of lemmings in some of the levels, so we no longer have the cap of 20. We go all the way up to the 100. We'll see just how well or badly the engine will fare. As always, I like doing the tests live. It's more fun that way, isn't it? Let's move on to level 2. We know what these first few levels are like. They're just a click fest of 1 or 2 skills at a time. At Kanbei, you got another Pucciana, a Meditite, and an Agron. 3 dupes there. Not the best pack in the world. Fast forward's always been there in the browser version. You can either do what I do, which is press tab, you can press F, or there is a button on screen. Because we know how slow the Master System version is, so it makes sense to up the speed if we can. It's actually a lie on screen saying 2 times speed. It's 3 times speed, but 3 looks more awkward than 2. I know, that 11-hour stream. Speed up would have been an absolute godsend there. You see, my sleep goes all around the clock. I will at some point put a read me up KYN for everything that I've done. I'm terrible at documenting everything. I'm one of those people I just do. Yeah, the miner here now looks a lot smoother. And it's actually mining in the correct position. We'll see the builder later on as well has had quite a major overhaul, because that was so bloody buggy. I didn't realise just how bugged it was until I did some excessive testing later on. But yeah, we've seen this level as well before. moving on. Let's hope the can-can doesn't play now, because level 5 for some reason has been defaulting to the can-can for me lately. 50 Lemmings, our first foray into a higher number of Lemmings. And I will say, I do like the sprite work I've done for the water. In the ripped tile sheet, they had this different coloured water for this tile set, so I thought I'd try and animate it, and I think it's come out really well, actually. I am very, very much vibe-oriented over detail-oriented. The way I describe it is, I see everything as having a smell. I know that's a bit weird saying a visual thing has a smell, but I very much believe in the smell of things, and if something smells right to me, it's normally good enough until somebody else points out, actually, no, that's not how it works. Which is why I'm very big on people telling me the little minute details. If people tell me them, I can fix them, but they go straight over my head. Level 6. A task for blockers and bombers. Another 50 Lemming level. In the Master System version, there is, yeah. Smell my socks, Sonic Spinball. Ugh. I'm not smelling anyone's socks. Neither yours nor Sonic's can be. For the levels like this, I've just, at the moment anyway, until I can be bothered making the actual Mega Drive versions of these levels. These are just the standard Master System versions, straight from the MLMs of the original game. The only difference is we're chock full of Lemmings. It's weird seeing non-multiples of 5% on that rescued screen. Builders will help you here. Exactly, everyone does work very, very differently, and I always find it's best if you work with somebody who's got a completely different working style to you. That way they're able to pick up the bits that you may not have picked up on, and you're able to pick up on the stuff that they've not picked up on. So generally you get a half-decent job out of the end of it. Look at all those Lemmings. Going into the goal again. And we are out of the tutorial in under 10 minutes. Compared to about 15 minutes when we were playing on actual hardware, as it were. I say actual hardware, it was a SNES. Turn Around Young Lemmings is the next level. $100 Lemmings on this one. Let's turn the audio down ever so slightly. I do need to probably make something less annoying than the chime that comes as standard in the Master System version, because this is getting on my nerves. I finally got round to being able to disable fast forward as well during the pause menu. That's something I'd omitted before. But there's a nice 100% saved on level number 8. Moving on to number 9. This is As Long As You Try Your Best. 99 release rate, 100 Lemmings. We're going to be on the old beeps again. The caps of these spinner traps, I'm not sure what to do with them. Because this is patched in the original game. It looks completely different, but I kind of like this because it looks closer to the Amiga version. So yeah, I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with that. Sounds like someone's burglar alarm, doesn't it, when they go into the goal all like that? Do not... Oh, bugger. It's fine, we'll take 99. Over the road, when I was a kid, their burglar alarm box actually managed to get struck, not directly, but from a side hit from lightning. Let's restart that level, not on fast forward. So it was going off at all hours of the day until I got it repaired. I never liked this level as a kid. I can't really tell you why either. We have the same annoying thing here on the engine of not picking the digger by default. I do just need to do a quick test because I might have omitted something again. Oh shoot, that's fine. I thought for some reason I'd missed my digger into miner, but I just wasn't clicking in the right place. We're not going for perfection here either. Now, this level, keep your hair on, Mr. Lemming, you actually have floaters by standard. You get 0 in the Master System version. But you get the option to have floaters in this one. Is it floaters you don't get? No, it might be builders you don't get. You don't get something. Which makes this level very difficult to 100%. It's not impossible. Pooty did find a way. I think I might have built too close to the exit then. Never mind, I did build close enough to the exit. Or too far away, I should say. Now, that is a bug in the engine, actually. There's that line in Gen 3, isn't there? Fishing's all about concentration. You've got to focus on the floater. So, in the Master System version, we should be able to climb through those bricks there. Didn't quite work in this one, so I've messed up the builder code in the other way. Yes, Fun 17's the one I'm thinking of without floaters. But as we'll see, there's a very easy back route in Fun 17. Yeah, in Gen 3, there's fishing's all about concentration. You've got to focus on the floaters. Patience is the next level. Patience is a virtue. I have 0 patience myself. Now, I must remember to reset the fast-forward state upon changing levels. Because that is probably going to screw me over a few times. Let me readjust myself as well. I've not played Hoenn since the last Hoenn challenge run, whatever that may have been. I'm getting the itch to play challenge runs again, but I want to tweak with the overlay a little bit first. We'll Fall Down is the next level. I wonder, have I got the fall distance right on this thing, or am I out of sync? We'll find out. This level's actually going to be a challenge now as well. In the Master System version, you only have 5 Lemmings in Iteration 1 of this. We've got 20, which is the Mayhem version, all the way in Fun. It's been nice to not think about Pokemon for a while. Because my brain has been very Pokemon focused for the last 3.5 years. Room with no exit. We have our first new level. I've always wanted to get into Fire Emblem, but I've never played it. So this takes the place, I believe, of Origins and Lemmings. And it's ostensibly you need bashers this time, but worse. I do like a good randomizer, though. At some point, I do want to do another key item rando. For Gen 2, get myself back into those, because they're a lot of fun. I am really bad with my attention span, so I don't really watch movies at all. Like, I cannot hold my focus on stuff that I can't interact with. Which says a lot more about me than anything else. Bloody hell, I've never seen so many lemmings spread out like this on screen before. But yeah, I never really got into the movies. I was always the games and dipped in and out of the anime. And then when I learned about ROM hacking, it was break apart the game and rebuild it in a way that's completely non-identical to how it was originally. That's like Mikanbei, except not phone. It's film one screen, and then just doom scrolling on the other screen. I've logged out of all of my social media to try and prevent the doom scrolling. Next level is Room with No Exit, maybe? I've forgotten the name of this one. It's something I am trying to get better at as well, watching longer form. Should we say professional productions, in the sense that they are made by a studio and not somebody in their bedroom a lot of the time. Seems like the hit detection on this might be a pixel or two bigger than it should be. But that's fine. Another little bug. Not game-breaking by any means. I'm just glad the one-way wall is working. These are new tiles as well. They're not in the Master System game. You don't have one-way tiles in the blue tile set. Let's move on to level number 16. Take a little rest. This is the replacement for Don't Do Anything Too Hasty. And it's got the wrong music playing. Is this even supposed to be Take a Little Rest? Let's double check. Yes, it is. So let's hopefully have fixed its music. Or we'll just leave it as it is. It's fine. We'll have now used miners and climbers again. The Master System is very, very, very finicky with how it detects one-way walls, and still, it cannot be broken in the slightest. And I think a pixel below sometimes does bleed out. The biggest bugbear about this engine is you can't bash from a builder. That's my one huge criticism of the Master System version. It's literally impossible to bash when you are in the build state. I'm going to play this cautiously as well. And I'm going to send the basher going that way. Just in case we caught onto terrain there. We shouldn't have done. But you never know. Give that lemming a floater as well. It means you've got to go for miners or climbers. And climbers? Miners or diggers to finish your builders. I don't like shorts. I don't really watch anything on my phone, so I don't do the vertical content anyway. But, yeah, I've never liked shorts. Neither the contents form or wearing shorts. Although a lot of that is because I have quite a nasty... Oh, the basher didn't work as intended. There we go. I've got quite a nasty scar on my leg that I am very self-conscious about. There is only the one thumper trap in this level, because in the Master System version you only get a single trap per level, because they're cheap like that. Yep, you can bash through the entire bottom floor, and the detection radius for bashers is literally just 1 pixel. It's the order of operations there that's gone slightly wrong. But it does mean this is an easy 100%. And now we go on to a truly dross level. Let's block and blow. Genuinely abysmal level design. Because this is just a task for blockers and bombers, but worse. I have a feeling he might be too far to the old left. Oh, just about. We'll take that. Yeah, that bug was fixed instantly. That one was an easy fix, thank goodness. The code is literally, because I've done it so that I can easily fix these kind of things. The code is literally, what skill can you assign when you're in any particular state? Which does make it easier to debug, but it does also leave it prone. Oh, I think I just caught him. No, I didn't. It does leave it prone to human error, like that. One thing you'll notice about this port of Lemmings as well is that the release rate cycle doesn't instantly drop a Lemming at the start. Good evening, D1. I hope you're doing very well. I hope work went well for you today. Let's see what you get in your pack. V-Maze? Maze? V-Maze? Maisie! Bloody hell, words are hard. I don't know why I full named you there, Maisie. I hope you're having a great night. What are you doing up at this time? I think that's part of why I stumbled over your username, because I'm like, Maisie can't be awake at this hour, surely. You're in bed, ready to sleep? I wish I could say the same, but I only woke up a couple of hours ago. I'm very much on at wrong times. Now, I said this yesterday, but I genuinely think this level is out of place for where it is. This feels like a later taxing early mayhem kind of level. Especially with knowing that you have to dig this out. Which is why I've gone for this bottom bar here, so that it works with the engine. Next time we have a long sequence where I'm not actually doing anything, I'm going to take a very quick drink. Why didn't I think to bomb the pole? I have such an avoidance for bombers and blockers. Have I sent these too early? Oh, it's going to be tight. Yeah, I have. Bloody hell. Well, he can become a blocker just for the hell of it. We still scraped by. It's fine. We're now at Lemcon 1. This level, the map is in the game for Poles Apart, but this isn't in the actual game. I believe this is Sega 1 in the Master System version. I actually really like this map as well. It's one of my favourites. And I have no reason to like it. It's not a particularly interesting layout. The Mayhem version of this map is very, very easy. Yeah, I kind of like it. Yes, open up all those packs. Let's make sure they absolutely 100%. Let's restart. I like the Sega tile set. It doesn't fit in with anything, but I do like it. Let's create the pit before anything else this time. Have a good sleep, Maisie. Thank you for popping in. I will catch you, hopefully, in our daytimes at some point soon. I've got something important that I'm not going to jinx, but I've got something important on Thursday at 2. Which could be life-changing in a positive way if it pulls off in the way I'm hoping. But it does mean I need to force myself to stay awake over the next couple of days, which is easier said than done. Hello, Tad, a Cacnea and a Trapinch there from the Gen 3 pack. And in the Gen 1, we have Oddish and nothing else. That was, we are now at Lemcon 1. We're now moving on to Fun 21. Lemmings in the Attic, not to be confused with Lemming in the Attic. Oh, it's this bitch of a level. Now, if you were around yesterday, you'll have known the absolute struggle that this level was for me. And I'm never going to be consistent at this. Or we could get it first try. Oh, we don't have the purgatory. 53 is a magic number. It might not be the magic number. Thank you for popping in, Kanbei. Have a wonderful sleep. I'm sure we'll catch up for a proper daytime session at some point soon. Or at least that is the plan. I'm going to try and be awake in the day because I do want to do, on Saturday, my actual birthday, I do want to do a longer stream. It's going to be on the Extra and on Twitch, though, as opposed to on main channel. Can I navigate this way? Again, these are not proper traps. These are fire tiles that I've just not animated. So, that's how we get by that. It does mean this level works in the Master System as well. Now this is a beast of a level. Haven't got the music in yet, but we have the visuals in. This is exclusive to the web port. So this is not in the IPS patch for the Mega Drive levels, but it is playable on the web port, as are all the special graphic levels. And I think this might be one of my first times beating this level. I can only remember beating it maybe one other time. Never feel sorry for chatting. I'm always happy to be distracted. It's a huge part of the fun of being live. Instead of genuinely focusing on stuff and, like, being a tryhard, I get to have fun and chat. And share the things together, and that's what I really like about streaming. Now, I've not checked to see if this goal actually works as a goal. Probably should have done that. It does. Thank goodness. How are we doing for time? Only half an hour, that's not bad. Lots of lemmings in this one. Now, one of the things I meant to mention is I fixed multiplayer. It wasn't quite working as the way it should have done yesterday, but that is now fixed. You hit a new PR at the gym today. I have great admiration for you doing the gym. I certainly couldn't. It's not my cup of tea in the slightest. Oh, it's this truly terrible level, goodness me. It's so bad I can't even speak. This is Lemming drops, but worse, really. It's the first level where I actually have to engage my brain, which, as we know, is not something I'm truly capable of a lot of the time. It's fine, they're not in step-up distance anymore. This level should be called If Only We Had a Climber. I did add water. It looked a little bit barren without something at the bottom. So it was a bit of artistic license. Using the term artistic incredibly loosely there. This was the level that made me code the level editor as well. Partly because I didn't really have a nice way of making the level look good using Mappy. And partly because I really didn't want to play this level for testing. We all saw that coming, didn't we? I might give myself a skip on this one. It's a level I truly despise. Yes, builder clicks are the final 4 builders, or final 4 bricks, I should say. We'll come back to that one later, because I need to actually think about strategy for that one. I think we just do the exact same strat as ever for Konbanwa Lemming-san. This is a good level. I would say out of the originals, this is one of the very, very best, at least in fun. No thumper trap either in this version. They added this, but the way the thumper trap's animated means they can't make it look not garbage. So it does make the level significantly easier. Lemmings everywhere, 99 release rates as opposed to our 50 on the Master System version. Plus oodles of Lemmings. This was my test level for terrain. Because my logic is, if they come up at the same point... I misclicked tab then. My logic is, if they come up at the same point in the netting, then I've got the collision pretty much spot on. The web in this one is quite a bit different to what you would expect. And lemmings do love getting trapped everywhere. I suppose it's in the name, isn't it? Lemmings everywhere. You, mate, get out of there. Bloody hell. Oh, what are you going that way for? This level is infuriation central in a lot of ways. Let's at least try and get them all into the same roughish loop. If I do this, will this work? And if I do that... Where are the others? Oh, bloody hell! I think we might have salvaged this. We lost one lemming. We'll take losing one lemming. Nightmare on Lemstrick. This takes the place of Sega 2 from the original port. I messed up my timings there quite spectacularly. Let's get them both up. That's a very weird loop they're doing there, because of collision. I don't think that's quite accurate to vanilla. Kinda like it. And now the back route for they keep on coming. Let's be careful out there. Has been removed. So just to show you, this lemming should still splat just like that. Because that's the back route that you can do with one miner. Not anymore. I don't like, in a lot of ways, I don't like the fact that the Master System has per level fall damage. But in other ways, it does add a lot of flexibility into level creation. So I've not patched it in the IPS version, but it's easily doable. It's just changing one figure from the standard 56 down to about 40. Because fall distance is literally just number of pixels Lemming can fall without splatting. Now we're going to make a little bit of a safety pit here. Because I don't feel we're going to win the 50-50 gamble. We in fact did not win the 50-50 gamble. But with that we can shoot up the release rate, and I'm also going to resync the audio. Because that had gone out of sync in the last 45 minutes or so for some reason. Also, I've not mentioned it, but there is full touchscreen compatibility with the web version of this now as well. Now this is definitely a level. And we'll leave it at that. I remember when my gran used to play this game, this level was the one she dreaded the most in Fun. That's my big issue with variable fall distance. And it's really starkly apparent in the early part of Fun. Because you go from Fun 1, where there's a massive fall distance, significantly higher than any other fall distance you'll see in the game up to that point. Well, I say after that point, I should say, not up to that point. Let's give this a restart. Put my first bridge in the wrong place. So, Fun 1 has massive fall distance. And then you go to Fun 2 that has one of the shortest fall distances in the game. And it don't quite compute well. Thread the needle and then some with that one. Double bridge there just to be sure. Yep, Fun 2 is a tiny fall. And you would assume it's non-fatal. But you'd be wrong. And we've got them all into the goal. Only two more Lemmings, two more levels left in Fun. Our next one is Dark Dawn. This is a 100 Lemminger, release rate of 77, 70% to be saved. This also has the wrong music. I mean, I'll take this music again. It's one of the best they put in this game. Fast forward is very much a blessing and a curse, because you forget just how quickly the lemmings yeet themselves down those slopes. Someone's eating my tiles again as well there. This is because I've been lazy and copy and pasted the INI file from a previous level. Probably Fun 17 looking at this, and that's where the thumper trap is in Fun 17. And that is the end of that one. On to number 30, Lock Up Your Lemmings, the final level in Fun. We'll take a very quick break after defeating this level. And Fun's going out with a bit of a whimper as opposed to a bang, really. It's not exactly a tricky level. I feel they could have done something more with a puzzle in this kind of shape. But they didn't. And that is the end of Fun. Fun's over, everyone. And our next level is going to be, and this is going to throw me for a loop, We All Fall Down, because Tricky at the beginning of the Genesis version is all out of order. But before that, we're going to take a very quick 3-minute break. And we are back. Thank you so much for your patience there as we move on to tricky number 1. This is We All Fall Down again. Because why not again? We had so much fun in the first version of this. I have no idea how we're going to get through the Mayhem version. But we just about get through the tricky version. And we don't have to think about it again for another 58 levels or so. Moving on to level 2, a ladder would be handy. A ladder sure would be handy in this level, but we don't have one. So instead we'll have to do with a couple of pits instead. I have started that first bridge altogether too late. Oh dear. Technical issues are abound, because we couldn't click the miner correctly there. I think I've got the miner hitbox ever so slightly wrong. That's fine though. That can easily get fixed. Let's build a bridge in the correct place now. A lot of the reason I wanted to implement fast forward as well is because I want to eventually backport all of the Oh No More Lemmings levels. And for introducing Super Lemming, we're going to need the double quick time. The builder checks are very, very loose in the Master System. You can always build through another builder bridge as long as it's one thin. There are also edge cases where you can clip through terrain. But I had it a little bit too loosey-goosey yesterday. This has been a really fun project, though. Because I'm very, very well versed in assembly. Admittedly, Game Boy assembly is my jam as opposed to Z80 assembly. But learning how to translate that into a language I'm not that familiar with JavaScript, trawling through mountains of tutorials and mountains of info of, well, what should I do? Has somebody done something remotely similar to what I want to do? If yes, how can I not steal, but borrow their logic? It's a similar thing with the level editor, to be fair, though. But both the level editor and this game are just glorified web pages that I'm running on desktop for capture purposes. But if it works, it bloody works. And it was the easiest way to convert it. Good morning, evening, Becca, whatever time of day it is, relative to when you've been awake. How was your MRI? I hope it went well. And this is technically been there, seen it, done it, but they called it the ascending pillar scenario in this port, so we'll be polite and call it that as well. Now, from what I can gather, this level's fairly... Bloody hell. This level's fairly polarizing. Some people love it, other people despise it. I'm very much in the second camp for this level. I am not a fan in the slightest. This one's better than the Mayhem version. I think it's Mayhem. It might even just be taxing, actually, thinking about it. You moved in your MRI? Bloody hell. I've only had an MRI like once in my life and I absolutely detested it. I seem to remember it has annoying music in the taxing version, which means it's probably either 22 or 25, I would say, at a guess. For the taxing level number. Yeah, they kind of half finished the job, didn't they? You have a brain. You're doing better than me there, Becca. Mine is still lost in transit 30-odd years later. Genuine deep-seated loathing for this level as well. And we have to go up to the top pillar because we can't bash out of builders. Oh, shoot. We made a mess, but we got through this level. Did I get much sleep after my MRI or after last night? Because the answer to both is no. I don't sleep. We've learnt this over the last few years. That was more luck than skill. Saving there. An awful misclick could have screwed us over. Lemming Sanctuary in sight is genuinely terrible. Who needs sleep? Certainly not bloody me. Now, I've forgotten my angles for this. I used to be pretty good at the angles. I think what we're going to have to do is just sacrifice a few lemmings. This is one of those levels where care and will to do the best goes out the window. Because my desire to beat this level, oh, bloody hell, is very much not there. So we'll skip it and move on to Lemming, singular, in the attic. I am thinking as well, I probably should have started with the present and Sunsoft levels to show off more of the work. So I think after Lemming in the attic, we'll move on to the present difficulty, so that we actually get to see some of the levels I've bloody made, as opposed to just playing through the game and having oodles of default levels, but with more lemmings. We get the gist of that now. Oh, for God's sakes. Yeah, we're moving on. We'll go to present. And so, is that the correct key? No, it's not. This is natural life. It looks like this. Not much more to say about it than that. It's in the dirt style, my least favourite to build in. So I'm not very good with the organic shapes. Now what you saw there may have seemed like a bug in how I've built the engine, but no. That is a bug in how Sega built the engine. Or should I say the developers of the Master System version. That bug would be there in the vanilla game, and in fact is in the vanilla game. I don't like to draw too many parallels to Minecraft when it comes to creative endeavors in video gaming, but there's definitely a parallel between those who can build really well organically in Minecraft being able to build well in the dirt theme, and people like me who very much build with clean lines and sharp edges. Like, for me, my favourite style to build in is the purple brick style. Probably followed by the yellow pillar styles in this one, because there are two of them in the Master System. We've got Sand 1 and Sand 2. If I was better at it, my favourite tile set to build with would probably be the Ice Crystal one. I'm just not very good at it yet. But that was present number 1. We'll move ourselves on to present number 2. Don't leave my lemmings. We've seen this. And now we have the age-old question of, did I make this even possible? Don't leave my lemmings. I'm just going to double check the skill set. 3, 1. Yeah, I did. That's fine. They definitely made up for it in the Mega Drive port. It felt at one point like virtually every other level I was building was in this tile set. Have I done that too low? Yes. Yes, I have. Then we're going to have a very finicky bash at the end of this as well. One pixel too early on the first build there. It is nice, though, to play levels where I don't know the solutions to them. I really should get around to playing people's custom levels. Yeah, 9 does sound about right. Because you've got Fun 5. And it's repeating Mayhem. Mayhem 4, maybe? You've got Fun 25, and it's repeat. No, Fun 5 and Tricky 16, rather. Fun 25, Mayhem 4. You've got the Art Gallery, which I think is also Careless Clicking Cost Lives. You've got Poor Wee Creatures going up. I swear there's one I'm missing off the top of my head. The Master System version did gain one with the Nearly There level, which I can't remember as well what it's called in other versions, because it's not called Nearly There. Although there are slight differences because of tile set. Let's move on to level number 3. Let me get out of here. Oh, this is If Only They Could Fly, but on a budget. This is also backwards, by the way, because we have a unidirectional flamethrower in the Master System, as opposed to the bidirectional flamethrower you see in some other ports. Which meant I had to make a compromise, and that compromise was flipping it all around. I might have messed this up. In fact, there's no might about it. I definitely have messed this up. I want to be lazy. I don't want to utilise this left half of the level. And where there is a will, there is a bloody way. No idea if that's anywhere close to a solution that's viable on the Mega Drive, but it's definitely viable on this version, so we'll take it. And with that, we can move ourselves on to present number 4. Will it be a gift to us? We'll find out. Lemming standing on the earth. What the friggin' hell is this level? I don't remember building this. Hang on, is this even possible? Let me refer to my reference image for this one. Make sure I've not missed out an important detail. FoodTubes, thank you for subscribing. I hope you're doing very, very, very well. You've caught me just as I'm trying to figure out how the bloody hell to beat this level. I think the solution is to go up, then across, then up, under this whole mess of crap, build over this trap, and hope for the best. Does that sound like a plan? Let's find out. The first thing we want is to not fall down there. Let's take advantage of the Master System's pre-buffering here by holding on to the build as soon as we can. Actually, it might be more builder efficient. So do it the other way around. And just build from this corner. That helps if you have a builder selected. The good thing about the Master System version is because everything's tile-based, it means that precise builders should be, it's a big capital letters should, be far easier to do. We'll get all of them trapped down there for now. And then we'll get this one doing all the dirty work, as it were. Oh! Right, I know why I've done that. I remember building this level now, and I'm a dick. There's a thumper trap there in the original version. But because we couldn't have more than one trap, because the original trap's down here, I might as well release these to show you. If I've put it in. Yeah, the original trap's down there. I just made the floor non-collidable there. It's bad when you shock yourself with a level you've rebuilt, isn't it? Bloody hell. And the way I did that, to make it work on the original, is it's just these tiles here. So if you look very, very, very closely, you'll see that they aren't quite identical tiles. I do always think it's a bit of arsehole design when they have hidden traps. It's never been my favourite game mechanic in this game. And I feel very lucky that the Master System version didn't often have hidden traps in the same way that other versions do. That's going to cause us some issues in a moment. But for now, we choose to not acknowledge those issues. Until we're forced to acknowledge those issues. Yeah, because while Fun 17 isn't the first level with a hidden trap, it's the first, or should I say with a trap, it's the first level with a properly hidden trap. I say the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. So we're going to try a different thing, and probably still get the same result. But at least then we've made the effort. We'll go the long way. I wouldn't do this on the genuine engine. But because we've got fast forward, it does make this potential route more viable. Now the question is there any more hidden flaw like that? I've got trust issues with my own tiling now. You're going to collide into that, aren't you? Yep. Let's slow all of those down. And hope that we've scraped by this. It's not a clean solution. It's not a solution I'm 100% happy with. But if it gets the blooming job done, then we'll take it. Need to add the builder terrain onto the collidable things for bombers. Darkness of the Royal Family, that's a level title. We'll move quickly on from that. Now this was one of the first levels I built for the Mega Drive backports. So this was pre-custom tile sets, and custom tiles. So compared to some of the later levels, it's a little bit amateur hour. Plus, I've made that drop far too steep there. Yeah. Can you? On this version, or on the Master System version, they're both deadly. This is a game that has been on virtually every console food tubes at some point, but it's not had a big release in 20-odd years. Lemmings Touch notwithstanding. Mobile game withstanding even less than that. I clicked there. Really addictive. If you do want to give it a play, then there is a way you can play it in your browser. Mobile or desktop, because I'm just that wisdomous. Done it again. I keep pressing tab when I mean to press pause. I find angles on this tile set really hard as well. I think the browser's going to be easier to set up than trying to use the naughty word, shall we say, and play it in a different way, because technically the only thing I'm recycling here is tile sets. And the music, I suppose, but I won't tell if you won't. My next job is linking the browser version to people's level packs in the level editor. No time for a detour. I don't know if this level is even doable in this engine. It's the It's Hero Time style of skills here. It's a minute-to-win-it level as well. Oh, bloody hell. This one's actually tough. Oh, I was 1 pixel on the wonk there. Yeah, these don't have a cat in hell's chance of getting to the goal in time. Yeah, if we'd have started that a little bit earlier, then we would have been able to get in the goal. I'm glad somebody picked up on the reference. I am very wisdomous. What do you think you're doing, mate, going that way? Did I tell you you could go that way? No. So don't go that way. Oh, that was tight. I love the 1 minute levels. They are some of my favourites. Now this is what I like to call the devs ran out of inspiration. And I just very, very quickly need to BRB. I really, really hope you didn't hear that. I thought I'd muted. I'm back. Sometimes nature comes less calling and more screaming bloody murder. This level's really nice. Simple 3-basher level, but you've got to do it in the right place. Absolutely not. I know this level, we're not playing it. There are very few levels that I would opt to skip like that. That under construction and fix the road quick, it's repeat. Yeah, I'm skipping them. And we'll move on to field athletics. This is level number 5. No, it's not 5. It's 11. Where did I get 5 from? Level 11 in presents. Oh, this is just 24-hour Lemmathon, isn't it? How have I not put that together before? When I was building it, I knew it looked familiar, but I couldn't tell you why. You're streaking at me, Becca. Let's see what you get in your pack. A Sea King, a Dodrio, a Doduo rather, and a Dugtrio. That's the dyslexia special right there. I think Collision might be making this one a little bit more difficult than it otherwise ought to be. Yeah. I've had issues with the dirt tile set anyway. To the point where I am very quickly, and this might make my PC cry, I'm going to very quickly check something here. So if it's what I think it is, yeah, it is what I think it is. Right, so we have an issue with the grass tile set. It's a quick fix, but it is going to require a restart of the game. What's happened is I have incorrectly done this tile set. So there are 2 shades of black on this tile set, and if I check that one, yeah, they are the wrong shade of black there. No, they're not. I think I've just got to beef up this tile set a little bit. That means it's not fixable on stream, but I can get round to that. After stream. So that does unfortunately mean, at least for now, we ain't going to be able to fully complete that level. That was present 11, wasn't it? Field athletics, that's what I'm going to have to fix. 9 shinies make that 10. Now, what I should be doing here is not rushing in like a headless chicken and actually taking advantage of the preview option to see what we've got available to us. So, what I'm thinking is we're going to have to go underneath. That much is pretty much set in stone. But it's going to be about targeting the correct lemming after we have dug. Now, we can slow these down. Like so. Nope, that's not going to work. Hang on. Are we overcomplicating things? There is a distinct chance that we are, in fact, overcomplicating things. We were, in fact, not overcomplicating things. I might need to look at the intended solution for this one. Ball distance is wrong on this one. They shouldn't be splatting there. That's the issue. And there we go. The good thing about this is I can edit levels on the fly. You probably are going to get your shiny decks before the shiny Ditto. I still think one of my favourite nights on the Cobblemon server was the night trying to get the Raging Bolt shiny to spawn, and it eventually happened after murdering several hundred of them. Well, that level's got a nice old fix now. I can remove Fix 2 from its title, and we can move on. This is a great thing about building something in your own engine. You don't have to bloody worry at all about rebuilding. What even is this level? That Cobblemon server was such good vibes. It's exactly what I wanted out of a Minecraft server. I'm thinking it would be fun to maybe not do Cobblemon, but do another Minecraft server in June for all of us who are participating. I'm going to trust that I've done the full distance right here, although I don't think that might be the solution. I've messed this design up. This square here's got to go. We go into the level editor. This bit here isn't as it should be. Because we need this to be bashable. Like that. And we're probably just going to have to deal with that horrible looking end. I suppose the other option is that we make this all one narrower. Eight, 16, 24, 48. So this is where we're going to have to be bashing out from. So set that there. Make that like that. So yeah, that is just a walkable thing. And then we can move this over here. Shorten that brick like that to get that fitting in nicely there. Make a brick like that. Shrink that in. I've done that the wrong way, bloody wrong way round, haven't I? Well, it doesn't look great. playability is going to be better than aesthetics on this one, unless we do a curve like that. Still looks fairly awkward, but it looks less awkward than it did. Do we just put a lid on it like that? I think that might be the play, you know. Just literally cap this off. There. I don't have my bloody bridge brushes. Sometimes designing levels in this thing can be an absolute piggin' nightmare. See, I don't want the gap there, but the bridges I've got are all going to create a gap. I mean, I suppose we could just do that and it'll be step-up distance. No, that's not saved it. Oh, bloody hell. Sunsoft Present 13. There we go, that's fixed it. Nice bit of level editing on the fly. You did get the demon cow. Although I say it all the time, that Clefairy at Whitney is more dangerous than the mill tank. The mill tank's predictable and you can 9 times out of 10 have a counter. The Clefairy, on the other hand, its metronome is absolutely bloody terrifying. Have I bashed all together too late here? Yes, yes I have. We have the solution now, though. The solution was to rebuild the level. By the way, if anybody would like to try out the multiplayer at some point on stream, please do let me know. That'd be something I'd be up for giving a go. It is online multiplayer as opposed to local multiplayer, so you don't need to come around my house. It should work across the globe. At the moment, I've built 6 multiplayer levels, mostly from the original version. But many more will be to come. The reason I've not officially released the Mega Drive pack is because I still need to playtest the Sunsoft and Present levels. I've playtested most of them, but I kind of got carried away with the whole level building part at one point. And didn't do quite as many tests as I should have done, and this is one of them. But we can now whack up that release rate. It's part of the reason why on the level editor is now, a level editor as well now, if you want to share your levels publicly for others to download, you've got to playtest to prove that it's winnable. It's the Mario Maker policy of doing things. Moving on to Like an Overflowing Wave. That title fills me with a sense of dread, as does 100% to be 100% to be saved, and 99 release rate. Oh, it's this level. This level that I didn't have the curvy bits, or the room in the tile set to make the curvy bits, so I made it squarey bits. I think in this engine, this is unwinnable. It's possible in original hardware, but because of the way the Lemmings are selected, I don't think we're going to be able to do it. Because it's always going to prioritise the wrong way. This is where we need the Windows 95 cheaty button. Unless you exercise a little bit of patience, I suppose. But who's got time for patience, really? Turns out it is winnable. You've just got to wait until the loop goes in your favour. That's actually a little bit more consistent than it would be on original hardware. Well, that's ominous. Lightning strikes have been detected 10 kilometers away. Evil Whisper is the next level. Can you hear the cogs whirring as I'm trying to figure this one out on the fly? Are you too high? No. See, I don't want to be over the walker. Yeah. I think I might need to work on the Lemming selector process a little bit. To prioritize Lemmings currently in an active skill. Which would be slightly different from vanilla. But I will take it. Because, I mean, it's already non-pure vanilla anyway. Because of all the little quality of life additions that we've got in this one. Oh, bleeding hell. It's these finicky levels here where you start to see the inconsistencies between the real engine and my engine. But it's part of learning to code an engine from scratch. You're gonna come into these things. And to be fair, there's still a part of me that's shocked and amazed that Lemmings are actually doing roughly what they're supposed to be doing anyway. This one is breaking my brain, and I don't know why. It's a simple level. I have just realised, actually, we are well overdue for another quick commercial break. So I'm going to think about this level for a couple of minutes, and I'll meet you back in 3. And we are back. Thank you so much for your patience there. I think we're not trapping. I think instead of trying to do shenanigans at the end, we should be trapping around the beginning. I could be wrong. Then again, I could be right. And then we've just got to get a good angle here. It is really deceptively difficult. If we can find a way to conserve a terrain destruction skill, then we could be in business. Not a terrain destruction, a terrain building a builder. Yeah, I think I've got it. If we dig on the right-hand side here, then we can set the last lemming off to be a miner. Or one of the last lemmings, anyway. And then we've just got to hope for the 50-50 with the build afterwards. Because if we build out of there, we can do the double mine in here. Oh, we didn't get the build. But that is the solution. Now we've got to put theory into practice. Easier said than done. No, we don't want multiplayer, thank you very much. The trouble with being faithful to the Master System menu is that you get incidents like that. It takes you a while to get back onto the place you want. Bloody hell. We're not going to get that miner again now, are we? Although sometimes you can just fluke your way into getting the Lemmings in a easier position to assign the skills you want. I feel like this is the most inspired Sunsoft designed level that we've seen so far as well. We have Lemmings off. That's it, it feels like a puzzle as opposed to a build fest. And those ones are always far more satisfying to complete. Halfway through present now. A trap is a trap, oh god. Oh, this is another one. Oh, this is... Why? This is another one that I did kind of have to neuter a little bit. So I need to change it so that if a bomber has come from a blocker, their collision persists during the bombing phase. Didn't think of that. We're absolutely not winning on this attempt, but that is a solution. I don't think it is a good solution. I don't think it's a winning solution. But it is definitely a solution. I wonder if there is another way to do it. Oh! Have I got my percentages wrong there? Let me check. A trap is a trap. Nope. 10 out of 100. We saved 10 out of 100. I am taking that and running. Electric circuit is the next one. Now, I've tested this one on the actual engine, and it works. Let's find out. Just about too short of a platform. Right, I think the clue's in the title of this one. We've got to make circuits for the Lemmings to walk in. And then we've got to block one Lemming off to do the dirty work, as it were. Yeah, I should have seen that coming. This one is hurting my brain. So we're going to need at least one digger and one basher at that point. I feel like this is appropriate music for this level as well. It's very mocking music for a level that's mocking my sheer ineptitude. If that one stray lemming hadn't gotten through then. The Builder's my favourite sprite for Lemmings as well. The attention to detail, especially for a game from the early 90s, is phenomenal. See, I grew up with the Master System music, so it's by default my favourite. Or at least I should say, some tracks on it are my favourites. I wasn't paying attention there. Can we salvage this? Yes, we can. I had a Master System and then I had a SNES, but it never clicked to get Lemmings on the SNES. By Jove, I think we've got it. There's that quote, isn't there, by Douglas Adams, I think, about something along the lines of what you grew up with in the world is normal and ordinary. And it's very much the case in video gaming for me, that the versions of games I grew up with are the best versions. There's no doubt about that. whereas everything else is an inferior port, even if there's zero justification for it. I don't know why I'm pissing away a builder there. We don't need to. I had the Master System version, and then my next version was the PSP. Why have I done that? That's one of the things I love most about streaming food tubes, the fact that we are probably, and I'm guessing here, of a roughly similar age, give or take 5 to 10 years. But our core experiences as children will be completely different. I think we are within a year or two with each other. I think I'm slightly older, maybe. I mean, obviously, don't bear your age to the world, but it's my channel. I will do what I want. I am turning 35 on Saturday. I don't like the look of this level. I don't want to play it. It's mean. Wrong stats. Thank you. Acrophobia. Are we sure? Present 19. I've got 002, 111 on the wiki. Is the wiki wrong? Wouldn't surprise me if the wiki's wrong. It would be a very, very interesting conversation, Food Tubes. 010811, that makes a lot more sense than what's on the wiki. I definitely had a copy of Earthworm Jim that I borrowed from somebody. So I know it's a thing. I will say right now, I have no idea what I'm doing in this level. the wrong thing, most likely. I have coded in Lemmings falling into the exit. But it isn't exactly working identically, shall we say, to the Master System port. Let's give this the old college try. Bloody hell. The solution that you can do, but I've got my angles slightly wrong in the way I've written the engine. And it is probably the way I should be doing it. Is to time that digger. Because if we get the digger in just the right spot, he will splat, which is fine. We can lose one. But then the rest will go into the goal just like that. Also, Toe Jam and Earl is such a horrible name. Enjoy your unexpected item in the bagging area simulator there with all that peeping. We did get through though. 99% saved. The X position for a digger is at the center of a hole, whereas the X position for the fallers is at the left of a hole. So that means you can have a digger splat, whereas a faller will be perfectly in line with the goal. I remember fixing this level recently. This one was the one you did on stream the other day that somebody said, KYN, you're going to play it twice, and then covered the spoiler. Because these are hidden normally. But because these are just fire tiles, because we've already got a trap, we didn't have the option to have a second arsehole trap, shall we say. Not a trap for your arsehole, but an arsehole style trap. So we're going to need to build once, twice, and 3 times. Do you remember Chicken's friends in Cow and Chicken were called Flem and Earl? Thinking of another horrible name and Earl. I seem to remember one episode, a news reporter called them Fleam and Earhole. Cow and... oh shit. Cow and Chicken was such a wild ride. In a different way, I got caught by the same thing that spoilt an attempt for you, KYN. We both got screwed over by the pixels. I'm hoping that the Master System engine is enough to detect that as a step up. We shall see. I'm not confident. It does, thank goodness for that. We were very early adopters of cable for people in this country. We got cable in '96, back when it was analog cable. Our cable company was called 9X. Which then, by virtue of many mergers and many takeovers, is what's called Virgin Media now in this country. That's a simple level. We like the simple ones. I like levels like that that have a lot of misdirection in the design. Is that a safe fall? Yes, it is. For some reason, I thought this was the other version of this level. I'm thinking of Twins. So I'm doing it wrong. So these are all back-ported levels. They were originally in the Mega Drive Genesis version of the game, and I've rebuilt them to be in the Sega Master System file format. Which was quite the endeavour. There were 100 that I had to do. I should have checked, actually. Do we need to do pixel perfect building? So we've got 1 or 2 there. We've got 2 there. That takes us up to 5. Pixel perfect would be preferable, but I don't think it's needed. It is quinquagintuplets. My dyslexia hates that word. I've a feeling they're all going to fall out of the hole there. No, they're not. But we have pissed away one too many builders, maybe. We'll find out now. Oh yeah, I've started that way too far left. I didn't watch him fall off the edge, you did. It's fine. So this is a continuation, actually, of a project I started all the way back in 2011. Where I recreated some of the levels that were omitted from the Master System version. But back then, we only knew how to put one level into the game at any one time. Whereas now, I've been able to completely expand the game. So there's 240 level slots in one that's playable on actual hardware. And I wanted to do something with those slots. So I decided to take on the endeavour of rebuilding a bunch of Mega Drive maps. Because I don't have the imagination at the moment to create original levels. And why make original levels when somebody 20, 30 years ago did all the hard work for you? This is going to require a pixel-perfect build, and I have not been on form with pixel-perfect building tonight. If I ain't seen it, it's new to me. It's pretty much how my brain works. But the thing is, I forget about things as well. So I get the fascination of new stuff all the bloody time. Brilliant. Started that builder too early. My hope is to be able to branch out as well into other versions of Lemmings after getting comfortable with learning solutions again. Because part of the issue of almost exclusively playing the Master System version is I've forgotten how to solve levels. It's just a memory test. The quick resets is something that I really, really needed to have in to preserve my sanity. I prefer console gaming, myself. I like having a separate machine to play things on, because then there's a good separation. Although most of the gaming I do these days is on PC. I do have my SNES Mini that I've hacked within an inch of its life, so that I can play 8 and 16-bit games on it. Precarious Oasis is the next level. And would you believe it's more pixel-perfect building we've got to do? Either I'm missing something, or I've got the skills wrong. It's probably the first. Oh, we don't mine into there, do we? We do it in the bloody bridge. That gives us the extra builder. This is what I like to call overcomplication. And that's me pressing the wrong buttons. Well, that was definitely not supposed to happen. This is one of those levels. I think the solution's easy to see, but very hard to execute. Although that could just be me. I swear I was holding down the mouse there. Oh, thank goodness that was step-up distance. I might be 1 pixel too late on this build. Yep. More than 1 pixel. Bloody hell. Because this absolutely isn't going to bash. Pause buffering's a thing in this. So you can pause, hold down the mouse, and then, providing the skill matches the current state of the lemming, i.e. can be assigned to that lemming, you can then release pause and it will assign. That is something I think might be exclusive to this engine, you know. I love Super Meat Boy, but I am not good at it. But then, as you say so often on your streams, Food Tubes, it's not about the sweat. Exactly, silliness over sweatiness. Like, I sweat far too much doing the challenge runs. And I am not allowed to get myself in stressful situations at the moment, under very strict doctor's orders. So I have to play things that I wouldn't necessarily be competitive with. A big asterisk over the word necessarily. Because I am a real competitive nut over anything. One thing I am very much having to learn to get used to, as well, is not being an expert at something when streaming it. Because normally the things I stream, I've put hundreds, if not thousands of hours into. So it's like showing off a craft I've curated. This, it's the complete opposite. It is very, very much the literal definition of winging it. But that means I'm not getting as stressed, or I shouldn't be getting as stressed anyway, about taking what we would call in challenge runs resets. Those abject failures of attempts. There's no visual marker that's clear for building there, and I keep either going one too late or one too early. The only time I was perfect was that time where I tried to trap them in the pillar. As is so often the case in Lemmings, though. Splat? Yep, splat. I'm having a lot of fun. I know that sounds sarcastic, but it's sincere. I'm genuinely having a lot of fun playing this. And there is also the aspect of I'm playing this because I want to. I'm not playing it because it's what an audience expects. And that is very liberating. After 3.5 years, mostly on, of being shoehorned into play Pokemon quickly. I think for me, and this is going to sound really big-headed, knowing I am good at solo running Pokemon Crystal, like, I'm probably top 2 or 3 runners consistently in Crystal, at least for first impression times. That piles on the pressure. Like, I have scrapped in the last, call it 14 months, I've scrapped about 25 runs that I could have made perfectly cromulent videos out of, because I messed up once and I didn't think I had a good enough time. I'm not going to lie, that has caused quite a considerable amount of burnout as well for the main channel. They're going to fall through that gap, aren't they? Not that it matters anyway. I think this one I might have to put down to engine for now. I'll come back to it, probably off stream, see if I can solve it, and if not, I'll work the engine around it, because I know it's solvable on real hardware. Jesus, what is this? Who came up with this design? Don't say me, I only converted it badly. Having the 3 hatches is very intimidating from the start here. On my main channel, I was until the absolute disaster month of January hit. Not January, April hit. I was 3 videos a week. Depending on what happens with the outcome of Thursday, I'll either be going back to 3 videos a week or it'll be like once a month. I want to figure out that level myself on this engine. So, if I can't get it by next stream, definitely give me a hint, but for now, hold off. For this level, we've got 6 builders, 4 bashers, 1 miner, and 3 diggers. Bash, dig. Not step up, but we could build over that way. Thank you, Seribot. Right, so they're all safe now. Ish. They're safe enough. That was probably a waste of a builder. Oh, there's only 3 lemmings. I was not paying attention. And that's a gap there. A 1 pixel gap. Now, if I have learned anything about the present difficulty, it's that you have to think outside of the box. So, I'm not sure if this climber is bait, but there's definitely a school of thought that thinks we could climb like, set him off building straight away. that will likely be Master System tiles being Master System tiles. Now, I don't think this is it at all. I don't think going over the top there is what you're supposed to do. I think we might need to go in for a bit of a redesign with this one. What level number is this? Present 24. Let us get the editor open. So the issue is the gaps here. And then there's another gap here. But we're kind of limited with our tiles in this one. We've only got a massive tassive 4x4 for our square blocks. We have no real non-still square blocks. That should, though, be step-upable. If we do that there like that. I hate having exposed ends of pipes as well. But I think we might just have to settle with an exposed end there. Let me get the reference image up for this one. See if I can get the gist of it. I think this is closer to how it should be. Okay, so that isn't step-upable, but we can work with that. But it is step-upable the other way. I am confused. Oh, it's because we are 1 pixel different with the side there. This level is what I like to call a mess. I'm not quite sure how to fix said mess either. We'll keep at it. There might be a back route. I will say, when it comes to the music, I do prefer the Matt Furniss arrangement of this track versus the original. I think it's back to the drawing board with the recreation of that level. Trouble is, I tried not looking at solutions so that I could then figure them out myself. And like I mentioned, I haven't tested a lot of the present levels. So that one, I think, is back to the drawing board, and I'll recreate it before releasing to the public. We really are in a part of the game right now where you have virtually no skills at all. I also didn't realise I've been going for 3 hours and a bit already. Time has flown. This one has got me a little bit stumped for now as well, so I'm just going to throw everything at the wall and see what sticks. I think we've got to go over the top, but it's about getting to the bits to go over the top that I am currently struggling to comprehend. This could be a case of Master System funny angles, but I'm not 100% convinced on that. I think I'm just being not clever enough at this moment to solve it. We haven't tried starting the staircase lower down. I don't think it will make any difference, but strange things have happened. I think I might have made this one too wide. Yeah, I have. It's the issue with this one. It is one too wide for bridges to work out in the way they should. That makes a lot more sense, actually, now I've come to think about it. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever time it is for you, Javier. I hope you're doing very well, and I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. You're catching me as I'm showing my ineptitude at Lemmings. It's brilliant. Yeah, because then you're supposed to probably go under here. Have a builder be able to bridge and then just mine out. Yeah, that is the solution to that one. I'd made it too wide. I'm sick of hearing how much is that doggy in the window, though. What a suspiciously looking square. I wonder what that could be. That be a clue? And we have a flamethrower. We're feeling fancy today. I've used one too many builders here. I am starting to get a little bit of the old fatigue, so I'll probably call it very soon. Maybe after this level. Need to get some food in me. Not a proper breakfast yet. Had a sandwich. But it just means whenever I'm next live. Maybe not tomorrow because of Thursday, but definitely before Saturday. We can give it another go. Pick up where we left off. The engine will probably have changed about 5 or 6 times by then. Yeah, I think my brain is at capacity, so I'm going to call it here. We'll come back to it on Present Not Fun 26 on our next time. I do want to say thank you to everybody for popping in today. I do also want to say an extra big thank you to FoodTubes for subscribing for 9 months at Tier 1. It really, really is appreciated. I am going to go off and get some food in me, probably have a bit of a lie down as well. I will catch you all very, very soon.